broadcasting here from my home here in Yad Binyamin in preparation for Holocaust Remembrance Day, which will take place next week. And wanted to just share some ideas to all those that are listening, all the viewers. And wanted to tell a story about a Jewish woman in Russia living a few decades ago there, had a problem. Everywhere she went, people would call her Jew. And she felt so insulted by this. And she went to this rabbi and asked her, what do I do? They keep saying that I'm a Jew. And he kind of like laughed and said, I've been here for 30 years and no one's ever called me a Jew in a derogatory manner, because if they were to do that and they saw the way that I act, the way I live, and I'm keeping Shabbat and I'm keeping Torah mitzvah, they know that I would keep it as a compliment. This woman didn't really know anything about Judaism. It wasn't her fault. She wasn't born into it. But I think we can all relate somewhat to where she's coming from. And maybe inside we can feel also where the other man was coming from. Holocaust Remembrance Day, I did some reading about it over the last week. And there's this great book called Life is a Test. We got it here right in front of me here. Life is a Test. It shares a story about how the Nazis just came after all the different types of Jewish people, in America and in Israel. And throughout the world, there's all these fractions, ultra-Orthodox, Orthodox, Zionist, Reform. There's so many of these different branches. But we have to understand that it's the Nazis who really unified us and who didn't look at our external description of our own religion, but they just saw you have a Jewish lineage and you're good for the gas chamber. And there's a part in this book, Life is a Test, where there was a woman who was like a model, completely secular, and she was being forced onto the trains en route to the death camps, and she was pleading with the Nazis in perfect German that she's not a Jew, meaning she had left everything, no kashrut, no Shabbat observance, not even Yom Kippur. It just tried to convey to this SS officer that she is not a Jew. And in his eyes, it didn't matter, no matter how hard she tried to shake it off and to be just like the general populace. In her dress, in her language, in the way that she lived, he put her on that train. It goes on further in this book where there was an eyewitness account of a bunch of secular people similar to this woman. And we're not judging them at all. We're just saying it like it was in those days. We're not saying that anyone's better or worse, or we're just stating what eyewitness accounts have said about the Holocaust. And it's important to know these things because a lot of people, they just think the Holocaust was this cloud of evil that there's no reason behind it. There's nothing to learn from it. There's nothing that we as the Jewish people were responsible for. And there's a story of these people who had no idea about their own roots, their own traditions, and they knew that after getting to the camp, they were now selected to the gas chambers, and they decided to sing a song. And the song that they sang as they were walking into the gas chambers was the national anthem of Czechoslovakia. This was an eyewitness account of the author, Rebecca Esther Jumbris, who, in her eyes, she felt that this was an unbelievable event where these people knew that they were dying, that they were going to be murdered as Jewish people. And in their last moments, they decided to summon up the courage. And in her description, she says how tragic it is to sing a song of another country was turned against you, and to die as a Jew and not to know what really Judaism and Torah means. Holocaust Memorial Day is a day to ponder. In my eyes, take 15 minutes, go on Google and type in Holocaust pictures in color. It'll blow your mind. We're all used to seeing the old books from Sunday school or of, you know, but they there have been a there have been a few attempts to put those same pictures into color for this generation to bring it alive. And things that you feel something, you feel torment. And question is, what do we do with it? So I think we're going into this path right now of Holocaust Remembrance Day, and then the Soldier Memorial Day, Yom HaZikaron, and then into Yom HaTzmaut. And I think that this is what we're going to be starting to focus on. But go ahead and do that. Take a look at the Google Holocaust pictures in color. Take a look at it. Feel the shock and do something about it. Increase your learning. This is David Perlow broadcasting from Yad Binyamin. I thank you for your time and stay tuned because we got more clips coming.